screenshots exposed her. My parents expected me to apologize for ruining her birthday dinner, but one cropped receipt, one forgotten voice note, and my cousin's brutal reply turned their favorite child into someone everyone was questioning. Original post, my sister added me to our family group chat just to embarrass me. Not privately, not like, hey, can we talk? She created a brand new group chat called Family Accountability, added my parents, both aunts, three cousins, my uncle, and me, then opened with, since Ryan wants to act innocent, everyone should know what he did. I was sitting in my car outside a Kroger in Raleigh with a bag of groceries melting in the passenger seat when my phone started buzzing like I was being emergency contacted by the whole state. For context, I'm Ryan, 29, and my sister Madison is 26. Madison has always been the favorite. And I don't mean that in a dramatic, I didn't get the last slice of cake way. I mean my parents helped her with rent for almost 2 years after college, paid off one of her credit cards, bought her a used Honda Civic, and still called her just a little overwhelmed whenever she messed up. Meanwhile, when I needed help with my apartment deposit after my old roommate bailed, my dad told me, "You're a man, figure it out." So I did. I worked as a logistics coordinator, picked up weekend shifts doing inventory audits, lived on cheap groceries, and kept my complaints to myself. The latest drama started because Madison wanted to plan our mom's 60th birthday dinner. My mom didn't ask for anything huge. She wanted a nice dinner with family, maybe a cake, maybe one of those photo boards with old pictures. Madison turned it into a whole event. Private room at a steakhouse downtown, custom cake, balloon arch, a photographer for candid family memories. She said it would cost around $1,200 total and asked everyone to chip in. I said I could contribute $250, maybe $300 if she needed it by my next paycheck. Madison said, "That's cute, but you make decent money. Don't be cheap for once." I ignored the insult and asked her to send the actual breakdown. She sent me a blurry screenshot of a notes app list. No receipts, no invoices, just numbers. Private room deposit $450, cake $180, decor $220, photographer $350, miscellaneous $200. That already added up wrong, but I didn't even argue yet. I just said, "Send me the actual deposits and vendor names and I'll pay my part directly." She left me on read for 7 hours. Then my mom called. Not Madison. My mom. She said Madison was crying because I was making everything about money. I told her I wasn't refusing to help. I just wanted receipts before sending hundreds of dollars. My mom sighed like I was exhausting her. She said, "Ryan, your sister is doing something beautiful for me. Why can't you just support her?" That sentence annoyed me more than it should have. Because I had supported Madison plenty. I helped her move twice. I fixed her laptop. I paid her phone bill once when she forgot. I drove 40 minutes at midnight to bring her a spare key because she locked herself out. But when I asked basic questions, suddenly, I was the difficult one. So I sent Madison a text. "Send me the actual invoices today. I'll contribute once I see them." She replied with a thumbs up emoji. Then nothing. 2 days later, I got added to the group chat, and Madison came in swinging. She wrote, "I'm done protecting Ryan. Mom's birthday dinner is probably ruined because he promised money and then backed out last minute. I've been covering everything while he nitpicks receipts like I'm some scammer." My Aunt Linda immediately replied, "Ryan, really?" My dad wrote, "This is embarrassing." My cousin Brandon sent, "Wait, what happened?" Madison dropped screenshots next. They were screenshots of our text conversation, but they were cropped. She showed the part where I said, "I'll contribute once I see them." Then she showed her own reply with the thumbs up. Then she wrote, "He knew deposits were due and still refused." My dad called me selfish. My mom didn't say anything at first, which somehow felt worse. Then Madison sent one more message. "This is what I mean when I say Ryan has always resented me. He can't stand when I do something nice for our parents." stopped sitting there like an idiot in the Kroger parking lot because Madison had made one mistake. She forgot I don't delete messages. And she forgot that, 3 weeks earlier, she had sent me a voice note by accident. Update 1, I didn't respond right away. That made the chat even worse. My Aunt Linda started typing paragraphs about how family should not need receipts from family. My Uncle Mark said, "Your mother only turned 60 once." My dad wrote, "I raised you better than this." And Madison kept adding fuel. She said I had always been jealous of how close she was with Mom. She said I made every family event tense. She said she had been walking on eggshells around me for years. That one almost made me laugh because Madison once screamed at my parents for buying her the wrong color couch. But I still didn't reply. I went home, put my groceries away, sat at my kitchen table and opened my banking app. Then I opened Venmo. Then I opened the steakhouse website because something had felt wrong from the beginning. I called the restaurant. I kept my voice polite and said, "Hey, I'm calling about a private room booking for a birthday dinner under Madison." The hostess put me on hold for maybe 2 minutes. Then she came back and said, "We do have a reservation, but there's no private room deposit paid yet. It's just a regular table for 10. I asked if there had ever been a $450 deposit. She said no. That was clue number 1. Then I called the bakery Madison mentioned in her notes app. They had no order under her name, no birthday cake, no deposit, nothing. That was clue number 2. Then I checked the photographer's Instagram because Madison had tagged him in one of her stories before. His booking minimum was $150, not $350, and his calendar showed he was out of town the weekend of my mom's birthday. Clue number 3. By then, the family chat had 26 unread messages. Madison was basically giving a TED talk about how I never supported her. My mom finally wrote, "Ryan, please just apologize so we can move forward." That one hurt, not because I was shocked, because I wasn't. But because she didn't ask me what happened. She didn't ask for my side. She just wanted me to apologize so Madison would stop crying. So I typed one sentence. "Madison, do you want to send the full screenshots or should I?" The chat went quiet. No one responded for almost a full minute. Then Madison wrote, "Don't threaten me." I replied, "I'm not threatening you, I'm asking." My cousin Avery immediately wrote, "Oh, this just got interesting." Madison sent back, "You're proving my point, you always make everything hostile." So I posted the first screenshot, the full conversation. The part Madison cropped out showed me asking 3 separate times for receipts. It showed me saying I could pay $300. It showed Madison saying, "Just send it to me, stop being weird." It showed me saying, "I'll pay vendors directly." And then it showed her saying, "You're such a control freak." My Aunt Linda stopped typing. My dad didn't respond. Avery wrote, "That is very different from what she posted." Then Madison tried to recover. She said, "He's making it look different. I was stressed." So I posted the restaurant information, not the employee's name, not anything weird, just a screenshot from the restaurant's own booking page, showing private rooms required a signed agreement and then my message saying, "They said there's no deposit paid." That's when my Uncle Mark wrote, "Madison, did you pay the deposit or not?" Madison didn't answer. Instead, she called me. I declined. She called again. I declined again. Then she texted me privately. "Take that down. You're humiliating me." I stared at that message for a second, because she had added me to a group chat to humiliate me. She had lied about me in front of my entire family. She had called me jealous, selfish, cheap, and resentful. But the second I showed proof, suddenly humiliation was unfair. So I replied privately, "You made it public." Then I went back to the group chat and posted the voice note. Update 2, the voice note was only 38 seconds long. Madison had sent it 3 weeks earlier, probably meaning to send it to her friend Jenna. At the time, I had played it once and ignored it because it sounded like random venting. Now it mattered. In the voice note, Madison said, "I swear if Ryan doesn't just send the money, I'm going to tell Mom he ruined the dinner. He always caves when everyone gangs up on him. whole chat. Nobody typed for a few seconds. Then Avery wrote, "Madison." "What the hell?" my Aunt Linda wrote. "Was that you?" Madison replied. "That was taken out of context." Brandon wrote, "It's literally your voice." Then Madison made it worse. She said, "Fine. Yes, I said it, because he does this every time. He acts superior because he has his life together." That was the first honest thing she had said all night, because this was never about Mom's birthday. It was about Madison wanting control. She wanted the credit for planning everything. She wanted everyone to praise her. She wanted me to fund it quietly. And when I asked for receipts, she turned the family against me because that had worked before. My dad finally called me. I didn't answer. He texted, "Call me now." I wrote, "No, you can say whatever you need to say in the chat you judged me in." That was the first time I had ever talked to my dad like that. My hands were shaking when I sent it. I'm not some cold movie character who drops proof and feels nothing. I felt angry. I felt embarrassed. I felt like a kid again, standing in the living room while Madison cried and everyone looked at me like I must have caused it. My dad typed for a long time, then he stopped. Then my mom called. I almost answered, but I didn't, because I knew exactly what would happen. She would cry. She would say Madison was wrong but stressed. She would say I was right but should be the bigger person. She would ask me not to tear the family apart, so I let it ring. Then another twist happened. My cousin Brandon posted a screenshot from Venmo. It showed Madison requesting $300 from him for Mom birthday deposit. He had paid it 2 weeks earlier. Then, Aunt Linda posted that she had sent Madison $200 through Zelle. Uncle Mark had sent $150. Avery had sent $100. Even my grandma had mailed Madison a check for $75. Suddenly, this wasn't just Madison trying to embarrass me. She had collected money from half the family and apparently hadn't paid any of the vendors. The chat exploded. Avery asked, "Where did the money go?" Linda asked for the restaurant receipt. Mark asked for the bakery order. Brandon wrote, "Madison, answer the question." Madison disappeared for 10 minutes. Then she came back with a long message. She said she had planned to book everything but got behind on bills. She said her rent went up. She said her car insurance auto-drafted. She said she was going to replace the money before anyone noticed. Then she wrote, "I only pressured Ryan because I needed his portion to catch up." There it was. The real reason. She didn't need my money for Mom's dinner. She needed my money to cover the family money she had already spent. My mom finally typed, "Madison, please tell me this isn't true." Madison replied, "I was going to fix it." My dad wrote, "How much did you take?" She said, "I didn't take it, I borrowed it." Avery replied, "Borrowing requires permission." Then Madison tried one last move. She said, "Ryan is enjoying this. He's wanted everyone to hate me for years." And for a second, I almost defended myself. Old habit. I almost explained that I didn't hate her, that I didn't want this, that I would have stayed quiet if she hadn't lied about me. But then I realized the people who needed an explanation were finally watching the evidence in real time. So I wrote one message. "I don't want anyone to hate you. I want everyone to stop making me responsible for cleaning up your choices." That was the message that made my mom leave the chat. Not Madison admitting she spent the money, not the voice note, not the fake deposits. My sentence, because it named the whole family pattern out loud. Final update: the next morning, my dad showed up at my apartment. No warning. Just 3 hard knocks at 815 while I was getting ready for work. I opened the door still wearing one shoe. He looked tired, not angry tired, embarrassed tired. He asked if he could come in. I said I had 15 minutes. He stepped inside, looked around my small apartment like he hadn't really seen it before, and said, "Your mother cried all night." I said, "I'm sorry she's hurt." He nodded, then said, "Madison made a mistake." And there it was. The soft landing. The sentence Madison had been given her whole life. I said, "No, forgetting a receipt is a mistake. Spending everyone's money and blaming me is a choice." He didn't like that, I could tell. His jaw tightened, but he didn't argue. know she's not as strong as you, I laughed. Not because it was funny, because that sentence explained my entire childhood. Madison wasn't as strong, so I had to absorb more. Madison was sensitive, so I had to be quiet. Madison was overwhelmed, so I had to be patient. Madison messed up, so I had to help fix it. I told him, maybe I'm only strong because nobody gave me another option. He looked away. That was the first time I saw guilt on his face instead of irritation. The birthday dinner still happened, but not the version Madison planned. Avery took over. We booked a normal reservation at an Italian place my mom actually likes. No balloon arch, no photographer, no fake private room. Everyone paid the restaurant directly. I sent my $300 straight to Avery after she sent the confirmation email. Madison didn't come. She said she felt unsafe around me. Nobody argued with her. That was new. At dinner, my mom was quiet. Halfway through dessert, she touched my arm and said, "I should have asked you first." It wasn't a huge apology. It didn't fix years of favoritism. But it was the first time she admitted she had skipped my side completely. I said, "Yeah, you should have." She cried a little. I didn't comfort her the way I usually would. Not because I wanted to be cruel. Because I'm learning that someone can feel bad without me rushing to make them feel better. A week later, Madison posted a vague quote on Instagram about family betrayal. Avery commented, "Pay grandma back." Madison deleted the post within 5 minutes. That was probably the most satisfying part of the whole thing. As of now, she has paid back Brandon and Aunt Linda, but not everyone. My parents covered grandma's $75 because they were embarrassed. My dad texted me last night and said, "I'm realizing we put too much on you." I haven't replied yet, not because I'm trying to punish him. Because I don't know what to say to a sentence I waited 20 years to hear. I'm not cutting off my whole family, but I am done being the emergency exit for Madison's consequences. I'm done apologizing just to keep the peace, and I'm definitely done sending money without receipts. The strangest part is, I don't even feel victorious, I feel lighter. Like the family finally saw the machine I had been trapped inside for years. Madison was the favorite, I was the backup plan. And the night she tried to expose me, she accidentally exposed that too. If you've ever been the one expected to stay quiet because someone else is more sensitive, comment what you would have done. And if this story hit